Meanwhile, the team behind the Cavaliers, I'm talking about way behind the Cavaliers, in second in the Central, is still fighting for its playoff lives. The Pistons will have to make a go of it to the postseason without Allen Iverson for the rest of the year. Today, Detroit announcing that AI will be out with a bad back. Iverson returned from injury and played the last 3 games, but complained publicly about coming off the bench and talked about retirement. Now, to put it kindly, let's just say that Week 1 trade, that trade for Chauncey Billups and Allen Iverson, didn't work out for Detroit. With Allen Iverson in the lineup, the Pistons went 24-30. He averaged a career low 17.4 points on just under 42% shooting from the floor. Now, Jamal Mashburn, I ask you, did they just mismanage Allen Iverson, the Pistons?
Yeah, they mismanaged a Hall of Famer, MVP. First of all, it's 2 styles of play. Allen Iverson is a freelance player. He's a guy that likes to get in the open court, and Detroit has been known as a half-court defensive-oriented team. Now, let's be honest here. Detroit is in a rebuilding situation, and Allen Iverson is the type of player, when he's injured, he can't be as effective because Allen Iverson's game is based upon scoring. That's his element. He brings scoring. He can shoot the basketball. He can do it in a variety of ways, get to the free throw line. But you look at this Allen Iverson now, he's not as explosive, so he can't be effective. You took at other players like Shaquille O'Neal. They can get older and do other things on the basketball court, but Iverson's primary effectiveness is as a scorer, and when he's not doing that, he's ineffective.
Well, one of the main problems in this whole situation is probably a phone call should have been made to Iverson or one of his representatives pre-trade and say, hey, Iverson, would you be okay coming off the bench? Because that's a possibility that you may have to come off the bench for us at some point. That phone call was never made. He ended up having to come off the bench. It wasn't a good fit. When he wasn't coming off the bench, Rip Hamilton was coming off the bench. That's even worse. He's Mr. Piston after Joe Dumars and Chauncey Billups.
So real quick, who would you sit out of the 3 guards that they're talking about? Who would sit?
Well, definitely AI. I recommended it when they first made it the trade. He needed to come off the bench because this whole move was about Rodney Stuckey, about getting Stuckey into the starting lineup. It was also a financial move because after this year, Rasheed Wallace and AI comes off the cap for over $30 million. So this was a plan for now and for the future.
Well, sometimes if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Well, they're below 500. I mean,
who would you have sat down on the bench?
I probably would have sat down Rodney Stuckey. I think he still has to get a greater understanding of how to run the point guard position and how to run the team. I don't think you could hand a young guy those keys at this particular junction, especially with all the distraction and all the different things around him. Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Allen Iverson, that's a lot to handle for a young point.
Well, and a guy like Allen Iverson, for him to have done so much in his career, this hasn't really gone well for him, and he'll probably just have to regroup and get ready for next year.
Well, guys, we can all watch how the Pistons manage without Allen Iverson for the rest of the season tomorrow on ESPN. The Pistons and the 76ers, where AI used to do his thing, battling for important playoff seeding. You can catch them Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.